Okay, part 2, 20K Q&A. Appreciate you guys hanging in. After hours here, Cardinal. Next question. Felipe de Souza. Appreciate you, Felipe. Very good supporter of the store. Always comments on videos. Appreciate you. Thanks so much. I mean that. Says congrats. Thank you. So great to see your channel growing so much. My question, if you were a Pokemon, who would you be? I probably should have thought about this before I read it. If I was a Pokemon, who would I be? Probably like I don't know, I kind of like being. I like the idea of being a fire type, but then I also don't like being hot, so it's probably not a good idea. Man. Let's go. I'm gonna be a freaking Gyarados. How about that? I don't know why. Just it'd probably be cool. Snorlax probably cool. Let's go Snorlax. Snorlax is cool. Just eat and sleep. The dream. I got a long question from Kenny. I'm just gonna parse it out. I think Kenny, you wrote us an email after this. I hope that was you. If it's not, Mason at cardinalgaming.com. You can write me an email, and I'll be happy to break this down way more than what is I'm be able to cover on here. But basically, the gist of your question is you're trying to open up a store, but you don't know what the distribution costs, and therefore what the profits could end up being potentially, because you're not a store yet, and you want to see if it's viable or not. Yeah, that's it's a hard question. There is that information data out there. There's plenty of people that discuss pricing and stuff like that. I talk about it. Danny Phantom talks about it. There's other stores and retailers out there that talk about pricing and what you can expect and profits and stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not great, especially on sealed product. For a vast majority of things like board games, like 40K and Warhammer products, Age of Sigmar stuff, not a lot of profits there. D&D's okay, but you have Amazon and eBay and other like big box stores. I'm right in front of a Target, and somebody came in yesterday and said, "Can I get this player's handbook that you have for $28 because that's what they have at Target, right across, behind you? Can I get it for $28?" I'm like, I pay $31 for these books, so yeah, I'm losing money if I sell it to you for that price. So that is a common issue, and something that comes up. You are going to struggle, and if you don't diversify, buy things secondhand, and have a strong customer base that are both buying and selling to you. That's just the truth of it. All these things that are in the store gets people in the door, but what pays the bills is people coming in and doing things like doing trade-ins, trading items towards things in the store. That really helps out the margins and really pads where I make money. Because in actual from distribution, by the time you worry about card fees and shipping and all that stuff is astronomical right now. Unless you're buying in vast quantities, you get eaten alive. Even things like these Gundams, they have very good markup on them right now. A lot of them are rare and not easy to find, and they are very expensive. They're bottlenecked coming from Japan. And shipping on them also is, they're not heavy, but they are big boxes of just air and plastic. So they just take up a lot of space, and the bigger the boxes, the more shipping costs is, even if it's not heavy. So yeah, all those things, I'm paying for an order of Gundams of maybe $500. I'm paying somewhere in the realm of $80 to $100 just to ship it. So yeah, it's right now it's not great margins on pretty much anything. So yeah, you're gonna have to really hustle and not worry so much about the sealed product. Sealed product is what gets people in and kind of is the eye candy for people to bring your stuff, or bring you their stuff, so that you're able to then hopefully get them to pick up some of these things with store credit and things like that. That's where we really start making a profit and making some actual money. Because selling the stuff outright with credit card fees, and like I said, shipping and processing fees and distribution limits and allocations and all this stuff, it's hard. It's very, very hard to make anything worthwhile. So yes, try to really focus on secondhand stuff. That's my easy question. Again, if you have more detailed questions or you want me to be more specific, just email me, please. Memory question: do your customers have the option to choose their mail carrier and their mail delivery prices? Not so much prices. I mean, you can pick UPS or USPS. That's basically the two shipping options that we have. And then you can spring for a more expensive USPS unless it's already going like priority mail, and most of the time priority mail is still pretty cheap. But yeah, you can pick and choose whatever on our website, absolutely. And local people even have the option of picking things up from either one of the stores as well. So that's a nice little feature that we are trying to get and tweak and make perfect. But yeah, a lot of the time, even if you're local, if it's something really light, it'd be cheaper just to have it shipped to your house the next day or 2 days instead of having it delivered from our warehouse to that location. So it's hard. It's going to take a lot of training and people understanding, like, yes, I have this, but not here. It will take a while for it to get here. I can't just like blow a whistle and have somebody bring it over there because gas and that employee's time and all that stuff. Logistically, it's not possible. So yes, we're your friendly local game store, but even we have our limits on what we're able to have and how fast we can get it for you. So it is what it is. MTG Unpacked, long-time supporter. I appreciate you. Congrats on the 20K. Onward to 200K. That'd be insane. I don't even know what it would take. What are the things you most enjoy about being a mostly cardboard vendor? And secondly, with the torrent of new TCGs hitting Kickstarter and the market in general, what do you look for before deciding to stock them in your store? I'm going to tackle that first because I get this question a lot when I do a lot of lives and stuff about Kickstarter games and what I want to invest in and what I decide to carry. Frankly, in the Kickstarter stage, even if they have a retail option, I'm not touching it. I'm just not. It's too much risk, and I've been burned on too many TCGs before about carrying them early or adopting them early, and I've learned my lesson that unless there's a strong IP behind it or just a lot of interest in it in general, that it's going to take a long time for that brand, for that game, to drum up any sort of following. And it's going to take other people latching onto it far before somebody like me should be latching onto it and carrying it in my store. That's not what they want to hear. That's not what the games that are being created want to hear. They want LGS to give them a chance and carry it in their store and, hopefully get them the product on the shelf so that people will buy it. But it's, we have risks just like a lot of people too. So that's a lot of the issue that we come across and we fall into when we try to pick up all these fringe, weird card games and that we hopefully can make some money on, and then we just end up stocking and they sit there on the shelf. So there's a lot of that a lot of the time. Okay, anyway, to answer the first part of the question from MTG Unpacked, the thing I enjoy most about being a cardboard vendor, I love how compact they are and how little space that they take up, and that they are very cheap to ship. Because right now, you have options to sell things off that aren't selling locally, and opposed to even something like a video game, first class for a video game, it's a couple ounces still, but sure, that's $3 to $4, $5 minimum, to ship a video game. For trading cards, if it's not too crazy expensive, You just throw it in an envelope, and with a top loader, and off it goes. So I really like that about it. The video game or the card games just have so much more liquidity to them, just because they are so easy to ship. Most of the time people are used to ordering online now, so that they buy things in advance and they get used to having these cards shipped to them, so they don't really worry about having to wait because they're used to that. So we've all been conditioned as card buyers to expect to wait a little bit, and that's fine. If you need something quick, you go to LGS. That's also a plus for us. So but if I need to get rid of cards, and if I need to get rid of them quickly, I can very quickly do it because of the online places like TCG Player, that I can just lower them to the absolute floor and somebody will buy them, and it's super easy and super liquid. So that's the easiest thing about it. What I most enjoy is just again, just seeing collectors and connecting players and collectors with stuff that they need. People walking in and being like, man, I've needed that card for a while. I'm going to buy it right now because it's here and I've been looking for it. So there's a lot of stuff like that I really like. That's the fun part, is really connecting collectors with the stuff that they maybe have been hunting for or been hard to find. That's the cool part of it. Orphan Charmander. Hello to you. He says, more lab videos. I need to bust out the lab coat. I actually have it here now, so we'll see. Maybe if I do that the card curling thing, I'll have to bust it out for the experiments I do, but we'll see. He's talking about, what about the print facilities, that print assortment of products from tins and ETBs to booster boxes? Can't be the same locations all around the globe. You would be surprised. I think the print presses that they use in Texas and Millennium in South Carolina, North Carolina, one of the Carolinas over there, they print all the cards for all the world, for Pokemon anyways, excluding Japan. Obviously, Japan makes their own stuff. But yeah, they print all the foreign sets, all the foreign language sets, and if you've seen the videos that I've talked about, and other people have talked about it now too. People have a lot of card factory videos and things like that since I've done mine. So, but all those stuff like ETBs and the promos and all that stuff is all built and put in those containers by hand, which is kind of crazy to think about. But as of what I last saw, even things like Pokeball tins and all that stuff, there's somebody that is manually putting those packs in there with the coin and putting that Pokeball together, and then it goes through a machine and it wraps it. So, yeah, or even the wrap is put on there by hand, and then a heat wraps it when shrink wrap on it. So, all that stuff is still very much hand done, and it's crazy to think about it. These people and these businesses are making all these things so as fast as possible, but it's still very reliant on humans to pack the stuff and pack it properly. And of course, there's errors and things happen, but of course that'd be happening even with machines. Things can mess up and you get a jam and things get destroyed, and something going so fast could mess something up really bad. So I'm sure it's just a matter of weighing the odds and whether or not it's worth the risk of automating all that stuff, or just the technical machines that would be needed to put things in something like an ETB. It's a lot of accuracy needed to put all this stuff together. It's just a lot. So yeah, it probably would be short term a lot cheaper to just have people do it by hand than make a machine that does it. But obviously they're going to do what they do. But yeah, there's lots of places that in these print facilities, they may do ETBs, but they may not be doing like the other box sets and things like that. Those might be shipped out to somebody else. I think Bennett is another packing company that's in somewhere in the middle of the country. Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas, somewhere in there. It's all underground, and there's big conveyor belts, and they have boxes of booster packs, and they just feed them into these products on assembly lines, again by hand, a lot of it, and they ship all these big boxes and stuff all by hand, and they pack it all by hand. So it's very interesting. If you want to see stuff like that, you can look up like Magic packing facility. Again, Bennett is the one that I've watched a lot of their stuff on. It's very interesting, very fascinating. But there is not a whole lot of information about it because, you know, they do try to probably keep it under wraps, at least the printing of the cards side of things. As far as like the packaging, I'm sure they don't care as much, but especially with how cards are cut and pressed, and you know the hollow foil, how they get the impressions on it, all that is probably very much not wanting to be recorded. So next question, Parky. Hey Parky. Question: most expensive card you've ever had in the store, and what is my favorite Magic card? Yeah, definitely have had a lot of expensive cards come through for sure. Had a couple Black Lotus we've had in trades, a lot of Mox, Power 9 stuff, graded Power 9s. So a lot of that is, even the not super rare printings of it, if it's graded, a couple $5,000, $6,000 cards. So yeah, a lot of that. I had a first edition Charizard come in like at the hype, like hype, and I think we sold that for somewhere in like $11,000, maybe $13,000 raw, I think, which was a big transaction. Definitely a lot of expensive cards like that. But my favorite Magic card, that's a tough one. I don't know mechanics as like, man, I like this mechanic in this game, but I like the art of a lot of Magic cards, and Magic has still some of the craziest and best art out there. They do kill it every single time. The Crimson Vow set stuff, with the card borders and the intricate foiling and the Throne of Eldraine. Same thing with the Fairy Tale borders and stuff like that. Absolutely just crushing this overall look of a trading card. It's beautiful, just fantastic. They really tie in the theming of whatever the set is or the world is to the cards, and I really appreciate it. And it looks really good. Pokemon is more rigid on the format of a card, even though they have all these crazy alt arts now. Formatically, they're very much the same. And you think of something like the legend cards or the half cards, and you had the Lugia, foot was going through an attack, and it had the energy cost kind of thrown off to the side, and it was getting kicked and stuff like that. It'd be cool to see more stuff like that in these other cards that make it look more dynamic and look really cool, really more flashy. Think of other things like the fourth wall, breaking stuff that, like Professor Oak and the celebrations where he's writing and it's going through the card and the text box. That's really cool. I like that kind of thing. And Magic does that a lot. They have the joke sets, the unsets. They have a lot of card frame, altering stuff, and where they kind of combine together and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Magic does a lot of that. And again, the way they tie in their theming. My favorite card art, that's one I always see. It's only from Ice Age. It's not anything crazy. It's that Foxfire. It has colored blocks, and then it has a fox against a snowy background, and it's a painted abstract kind of card. I really love that art. It always, every time I sort through bulk Magic cards, I always stop and I admire it. I don't know what it is about that art. I just really like it. So I guess that's my favorite card art. Anyways, question from Pikachu. If you guys aren't following Pikachu on Instagram, he's worth a follow, definitely. He said, "Congratulations! 2 questions. Your life nugget
from the last video hit home for me. Have there been moments that you've been contemplating selling off and doing something else? I think he's talking about when I was talking about the day in the life video, and I was talking about things not being perfect and things being 85% is okay, and that, you know, that's good enough, and nobody's gonna even notice that it's not the other 15%. I think that's what he's talking about. Selling off and doing something else. More so recently, I've just thought about it. A little fleeting thought about it. I would think about it, and it's not so much because I don't like it or, you know, it's a lot going on or whatever. It's just I opened a card store and I was like, okay, I'm gonna open a store. It's just gonna be a little small shop. We're gonna have fun, and we're all gonna play games together, and it's gonna be great. And obviously, we've gone far beyond that, and I'm running 2 stores and trying to logistically figure out a warehouse and a lot of online sales and stuff. When you think about opening up a card store, you very much think about the 90s card store, where it's a lot more easy, you know, laid back. You know, people come in and trade, and they ooh and ah this stuff, and it was back before the internet, so things were just different. And things are futuristic now. We have all these ways of making money and selling things that was not that way before. So you kind of get that old, like, nostalgic. You think of like Leonhardt's pop-up shop, like, kind of vibes, and that is definitely not how things really are these days. Everything is very much more automated, and not automated, but you know, online oriented, and, you know, anybody can buy anything at any time. So running a store is difficult. It's not easy when you have, you know, Amazon and eBay and everything else fighting against you to, you know, try to get people to buy from you instead. So I just think about things like that and just like, how much effort is being put out just to sell things and keep things going. And it is taxing, because it's very much hamster wheel, where you're just like, okay, to get through this end of the month, I got to do this. I got to move this much, and this much. All these things have to sell. And if they don't, things start falling apart. The hamster wheel, the screw loosens and it starts to wobble. And that's the type of stuff that I didn't anticipate, and you don't get used to. It's just very taxing trying to keep up and keep the cash flow going. Anyways, second part of the question. If there was a Mason RPG game, what would it be called? And how would you treat NPCs who broke store rules? Oh, man. So we're talking like a game store simulator type of game, which probably already exists. I'm sure it's out there. I know that they have like an arcade simulator, which is pretty close, but I don't know. It'd probably be called like Card Store Simulator or something like that, and our Game Store Simulator. And what would it be called? And how would I treat NPCs who broke store rules? I think I would just hire like a robot that just patrolled, and anytime people touched things or little kids picked up plushies, and it would just laser them. You know, very much like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you would just take the mad guests and you'd pick them up and just drop them in the water and they would drown to make your happiness rating go up. Kind of similar, something like that. Question from PokeGang. I think he has a couple, so let's hit this one first. Since a lot of places are not accepting bulk, is it better to sit on it or continue to try to sell it off? So, bulk right now is in a weird spot for sure. I've talked with a lot of people, a lot of store owners, and yes, bulk is not in demand, but obviously because there's just so much of it being opened right now. And we all have so much bulk. Everybody has bulk. There's no shortage of bulk in the world currently. That's not to say that the big buyers, and I'm going to do more videos about, you know, a continuation about what stores do with bulk, and then what I'm going to do with bulk, and who I sell bulk to, what they do with it I'm gonna follow the chain and show it all to you. It's in the works. It's on paper to do. But yes, I'm still buying bulk. I am still just buying and selling at the same rate. I just bought probably 20,000 bulk today. One of those buys were recorded, so we're gonna have fun and put that up on the channel as well, so people can watch that go down. So that was fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to sit on the amount that I have, which you guys know is quite a bit. I have a lot of bulk, and I'm going to wait until a good time to sell. And I'm going to, pick through it and take the value out of there that I can, and sell off the stuff that I can on TCG Player and stuff like that. Which, in bulk, there's a lot of good stuff that you can sell, even if it's for a quarter, 50 cents, $1, something like that. All that is good money, and it gets my return back. And then the rest of the stuff, that is truly just bulk, I can sell off to those other big bulk buyers, and they will pay them, whatever they pay on it, and I'll still be doing okay for taking it all in. So that is the plan with the bulk. And bulk goes in cycles. During the holidays, bulk tends to go up because people want to buy bulk, and bulk in general is more desirable and it moves faster. And during the holidays, when people want to buy Pokemon cards, but not those Pokemon cards that are sealed, just give me a whole bunch of the stuff because the kids don't care about it. So I'd rather buy 1,000 cards for $40 than packs worth of thousands of cards, and it'd be way more expensive. So makes sense, obviously. But yeah, the holidays are the big movers. So during the summer right now, A, there's just way more bulk than usual, and B, it's just not the season for bulk. So if you don't want to trade in for store credit or anything, definitely sit on it, and hopefully in the fall and as we get closer to the holidays, the bulk prices will go higher. That would be my suggestion. Poking with another question. Has anyone ever offered to buy your company, or have you ever considered merging with another company at some point in the future if your business continues to grow and expand? Example, like GameStop or a private company. If GameStop wants to make an offer on my business, absolutely. Give me a call. Send me an email, mason@cardinalgaming.com. If you want to buy my store, taking offers happily. Just know that it's probably not going to be the greatest deal in the world. Because I'm pretty happy with how things are and how we're doing. So, but would I ever? Potentially, there's scenarios where I would want to maybe sell or merge with something else. But I have so much independence and being my own guy, and yeah, there's opportunities out there that if I wanted to go work for another company, like Troll and Toad is just right down the road, an hour and a half. I can go, do something with them. I'm sure they would probably find some use for me. But there's tons of places and opportunities out there. If I probably really wanted to try to find a buyer, maybe I could sell the stores, or sell my body for gold. But yeah, right now I'm pretty happy with how things are, and yeah, I'm always interested to seeing what people would think it's worth, and I would probably not be wanting to sell it for what the value is. It's worth a lot more to me than that. So just take that in mind if you're gonna shoot me an offer.